Hello friends, and welcome back to my garden. These days the weather has to be just right for me to go outside, and for the past 2 weeks we've had a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of crummy weather and I have a visitor. So it's been really hard to go out in the garden and do some yard work, but today is just the right amount of sun, just the right amount of uh, heat that I said to myself, let's go out and do some cleanup. Our little tomcat is very friendly and likes a lot of pets. He's singing here with me. I had to take advantage of this lovely weather because the kids, as they have the spring vacation, they went to visit grandparents, so they'll return later today, and I wanted to have some self-care, self-love time for myself and for my garden. The sun is getting out of the clouds, so it's just the perfect weather to work out. For those of you that are new here to my channel, my name is Alina and I garden in East Europe. It's a temperate climate similar to zone 7A, 7B in the USDA zoning. I want to take you on a tour with what I want to do today. I'm trying to stick to my 1 square meter rule just because I don't want to overexert myself, and as you can see, I'm still pregnant. Hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks we get to meet the new baby. But even if I'm this advanced in my pregnancy, I feel like getting out and doing a little bit of workout is good for the health, for the mind, for the soul. And I have a new friend here who wants to join us. First, let me take you on a really quick tour and I'll show you what we try to do today. Here we have a Salix integra Hakuro Nishiki. This is a dappled willow, flamingo dappled willow, with the new growth that usually is white. But to get that white foliage, you have to cut it back quite heavily. And I did not have the courage to do this. And it got a chance to leaf out. So I'm thinking I'll just leave it like so for half a season at least, and maybe in summer we can trim it back, but for now I do not dare to touch it. It's just I think it's just too big of a job for me. Now underneath the dappled willow there's a bunch of alliums. These are perennial alliums, and in between here and there I planted some tete-a-tete daffodils. Now I used to have 2 alliums, 2 big clumps, one here and one on the other side, and what I've done in autumn, I dug them out and just split them. And here you can see from 2 clumps I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a bunch more in pots. So I really encourage you to shop your own garden, as Kate from Hello Garden is saying, and try to multiply and split things around. And I was thinking, what could I interplant so that we have a bit more variety here under the dappled willow. I'll just take out these alliums, and what a great idea to bring some foxglove. These I started in January. Some are smaller than others, but there are a few quite big, and I think they're starting to suffer in these small pots. I hardened them off for quite a while now. I think they are out in the garden for at least a month now. These ones are Dotty Peach variety. These are hybrid Foxglove that's supposed to bloom the first year, and the other one was the Camelot Lavender variety. And because the Alliums are lavender, I figured the Camelot Lavender planted in between would be just the right thing for this spot. But first I want to take these out so we make a little bit of room for ourselves. I cannot believe that all of my cuttings took and are doing so well. These I'll save for a different spot in my garden, and I actually gave my sister a bunch when she visited 2 or 3 weeks ago. So now because the daffodils narcissus has a similar foliage with allium, I dared to plant them pretty much in the same spot, but I would like to empty and create more of a semicircle here. So what I'll do is take this one out and move it in this direction, because here I have a few clumps. When you are working with bulbs, you want to let them soaking all the energy from the sun. So this is not like the most common thing to do, to move your bulbs before they actually dry. But in this certain case, I don't want to let them here because I want to create myself a nicer canvas. So look how the bulbs look like. I think it was just one bulb and it multiplied, and I have now 3. Daffodils do really well here for me, and after I got them out, I'll just spread them where I think they'll look symmetrical to the other side. I don't stress too much about the depth because bulbs are smart in their own way, and some actually move themselves up and down in height in the ground, so they'll get eventually to the right height. Now, after I planted all 3 in a clump here, I have plenty of space in my semicircle. I'm debating whether I should move this one as well, just to keep the semicircle a little bit wider. I will try to. Let's see. Let's move this one as well. They will not suffer one bit, and they'll have plenty of time to recover. Now let's get to the foxglove, because foxglove grows quite tall. I'm thinking I could add at least 1, 2, 3 in the back, 2 more to the front, 5 in total. Let's see. I wonder if this is too packed in. And I'll add another one in the front, like so. I think it's gonna be a nice clump in the end, because they start to touch each other, so you won't know it's 5 plants here. Let me keep the tag because I still have a few plants here. They're starting to suffer from drought. All right. Hello, kitty. In the end, I decided to add one more, because if I were to center it, it would be just behind the allium, and I think a little bit of set would look a little bit better. Now I don't have to baby these seedlings anymore, water them regularly and so on. Let me get myself a nice can of water, but not before I put some mulch around them. Alrighty, let's put some this is a cow manure, but it's dried, so it should not be very powerful. I'm thinking I'll add just a little bit around the plants. This is considered almost like a fertilizer. I'll not add too much because I don't want to burn things around. But since the alliums are very heavy feeders, I figured it would help everyone in this area if I just added this organic matter here before I add some wood chips. The nice thing about dried cow manure is that it has a very nice consistency and it doesn't smell, and it feeds naturally the soil, and over time improves the quality of the soil. This rosemary smells divine. It's just great. It smells amazing. Here I have the echinacea. I'm trying to not bury it. I think it could have used a bit of lift. I'll leave it as is for now, because the soil, I think, it's going to settle down around it. And I have another echinacea over here. When I deadheaded my daffodils, what I did was just break the stem of the flower and dump it in the soil, because they will feed also the soil. So I'm not gonna compost them separately. Now that everything is watered in, I'm left with a bunch of allium seedlings. And I'm thinking they smell a lot like onions, but they have beautiful flowers. I'm thinking really established gardens have this repeating pattern of plants, and I was thinking I could get these seedlings planted in a maybe 3-meter away flower bed. Let me show you where I'm thinking to add them. And I think because it's a height difference, these alliums are in this raised bed, the others will be in the ground. It's gonna be a nice repeating without being everything in a line. Let me show you where I want to put them. This is how many alliums I have left from my cutting in autumn. There are quite a few, and I have a bigger clumps and smaller clumps, but they all survived, even those with just one little stem. Eventually those will flower as well. And besides that, I also brought some bridal crown daffodils that I had in an nice arrangement inside my house, because I have that same variety over there. And I was thinking, if I repeat the alliums from here, I could actually repeat the daffodils as well. And I was, as you can see, the daffodils are planted a little bit to the right of the alliums. Alliums are here under the dappled willow. But let me take a few steps back. If I were to repeat these two flowers here in this corner, I think it would give you a nice repeating motif, and it would look really cool in the end. So where I want to put them is this corner that's not in any way, shape or form taken care of. And I was thinking, here I have two roses that bloom in a peach color, and I have this dark foliage nigella that's light pink, but this is gonna bloom very early, while the roses will bloom pretty much all summer long, through hopefully at the same time as alliums. Here I have a petite nectarine tree and a little lavender. I did not do any contouring of the flower bed, but I think I can start adding these plants that I already have. Oh, I have a little armeria here. This is pink. So what if I were to do some clumps of alliums here and here, and also maybe add the bridal crown daffodils in between? It's not going to look pretty right away, but eventually it's going to add to the cohesiveness of the garden. Maxi is very happy to play around. Hello, you're playful today, huh? Let's see. I'll get the bigger ones first, because hopefully we'll get some blooms this summer as well. Let's see if I were to put this here. I think this should work. Let's also intermingle the daffodils. These I need to soak in water to easier break apart. Let me bring a bucket of water first. As I was going for my bucket of water, I realized I have in my little greenhouse stash a few creeping phlox that also repeats another corner of that side yard. So I'm thinking I'll grab these 3 creeping phlox as well, and I'll show you what I'm repeating with them. Please don't judge me, it's a mess here, but the creeping phlox is such a good ground cover for us in my area that I cannot pass the opportunity to get this one as well. So the creeping phlox, this one that I bought, is way more advanced than the one in the ground, but let me show you how it looks. At the moment it looks like this, but in a week's time it's gonna be in full bloom. It has a bunch of weeds around, but it's the same variety, same pink variety as this one that I brought. And also it's not only repeating the plant itself, but it's repeating the color scheme, because I have the nectarine that's blooming pink, then I have the creeping phlox with a bunch of hyacinths, and over here I have this double flowered Japanese cherry tree. Look at those blooms. So I'm practically repeating the color pink for spring with the hyacinths, the Japanese cherry tree. Here we have the creeping phlox that's not yet in bloom, but it's gonna be soon. And if I brought these, hopefully by the next year everything is gonna be so cohesive and looking amazing. This nectarine is a little bit over, but it was filled with blooms. It looked great. I covered it last night because we had -1 Celsius degrees and I was scared I'm gonna lose all fruit on it, but hopefully it's gonna do something for us this year. Now let me fill the bucket with water and we can start planting. All right, let's add these daffodils to the water, and while these soak up and I'll be able to split them apart, I'll try to put these in. But first, let's figure where we spread the phlox, because this is gonna grow quite large. It's gonna grow to 40 centimeters wide, so I don't think it's needed to be in a clumping trio like that. What if I were to put one here, one there, and maybe one here near the rose? I think this is better. Alright, let's dig in the alliums and then figure out where we put the daffodils. Things are looking so much better already. I cannot believe what a difference weeding and just adding like 3 blooming plants makes to a border. Okay, now let's decide where we put the narcissi. I have to split these. They soaked really well. And I'll add the leftover cow manure. Maybe I'll bring another bag as well. So all that I have to do is to break them apart gently. and they come right away, which is great, right? And I'm gonna try to clamp them together. Not plant them in a row. That's great. Okay, let's see where we can fit them in, because they are quite tall. I'm thinking I'll have a clump here in the back. 1, 2, 3. Maybe another one here in front of the rose. 1, 2, 3. Another one here in between the Weigela and the Allium. 2, 3. A few more towards the rose. 3, and I still have 3. And I think behind these rows, in between the phlox and the rose here. I'm quite happy with what I managed to do today. All I want to do now is to add some wood bark to this raised bed, just because this one is gonna dry out so much faster than the new in-ground flower bed. The absolute hardest part of this project has been adding the bulbs in ground, because I was trying to keep the foliage out and still allow them to get some energy from the sun. So otherwise it's been a very pleasant day to work out in the garden today. The weather was just right, you guys. I have half a bag of mulch, and I'm thinking I'll add it here to the edge of the wall. Let's see. It's been such a productive day. I cannot believe how many things I was able to do, but the weather was very friendly with me. So I'm really happy with what I managed to do. Before I say my goodbyes, I want to take you on a tour, because we planted together a few weeks ago some ranunculus and tulips and gladioli, and I want to show them to you, how they look so far. And I'll show you again how things are looking at the end of the project. Let me show you a final look. So these are the foxglove. This is the only one that's looking a little bit rough, but even this one actually perked up a little bit after I watered it. I'll set up a reminder on my calendar for tomorrow morning to water these again. I moved the daffodil over there, which gives me a more balanced look, because I have a bunch of daffodils here and there. And then the wood bark totally changes everything around. Not only is it super healthy for your soil because it keeps it cool and moist, but it also gives like a finished look to the border. This is a beautiful sedum. I can't wait to see it bloom. I think it's gonna be a bit tall because it's right to the edge of the wall, but hopefully it's going to be balanced by the echinacea. I have two. I have one achillea, pink achillea over here. Hopefully it's gonna emerge. I don't have many hopes for it. And now let me show you the ranunculus I was telling you about. So we've planted this together a few weeks ago, and look how much growth they put on. The spirea was only sticks back then, and if you remember, we planted together the tulips at the same time as these ranunculus. I don't have high hopes for blooms from these tulips, but at least they are gonna store some more energy this summer, and next year they'll give us a nice show. And all the way to the back are the gladioli. What? They are already 10 centimeters tall. And my little friend is here. Maxi, you came for a pet. He's looking for pets. He's so friendly. I cannot with him. This is a magic carpet spirea, and look at that color. Are you kidding me? It's almost like a yellow, brown, almost like acer. It looks like an acer. Those are the colors the Japanese maples have in spring, compared to the very vibrant green of the ranunculus. I think it's a great contrast, and it matches nicely the Chamaecyparis. This area we still have to develop a little bit, change a few things. And now over here I put the leftover bark. I got to bring a string cutter to cut off that grass, but this is pretty much like a pathway all the way to the back. I really need to bring those 5 or 6 wood chip bags, but I have to go to the store to pick them up. And I cannot tell you enough how happy I am with this corner. The phlox is looking great. This variety is called McDaniel's Cushion. It's a creeping phlox. We don't have to do everything in one day. And after we put there some wood chip mulch, I think it's gonna look so nice. I think we got together this Californian lilac, and I want to give you an update. I noticed a lot of new growth, so I'm very hopeful. 1 second. Look at that. So it's gonna be green in no time, which is great news because I really like this plant. It has such, look at that, it has such a deep green foliage, and it's gonna be a good lesson for me for next year to cover it. I want to thank you all for watching. I really hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this planting session with me in the in such a lovely weather. I really hope you get a chance to enjoy similar weather in your gardens. And until I see you next time, I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'm a bit out of breath, but it's been a good workout. I feel like it's a boost of all the good hormones when you do a little bit of workout, especially if you do it in the sun. So until the next time, I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye bye.